Hello traders, my name is Tomasz Wiśniewski. I'm a Chief Analyst in Alpari Research and Analysis, and this is a daily analytical report. So let's see what's going on the markets, and let's try to earn some money together. First, we need to see the calendar. You need to know what is going to happen today, not to trade before the important macro data. Well, that's my approach. I like to limit risk as much as possible. We do not have anything interesting today on Tuesday. No super important data. Tomorrow we will have speech from Mark Carney, and we will have speech from Mr. Polos from Bank of Canada. Overnight, trade balance data, export, import from New Zealand, so maybe opening New Zealand dollar today is not the best idea. And that being said, let me show you the charts. I have only 6 charts for you prepared. Rest of the instruments we'll analyze live. That's what we were doing for the past 1 month, so I'm showing you the decision-making process, which I think is the best for you, and it actually teaches you how to trade. And I think it's better to do this this way. So first, euro dollar. Euro dollar had a very good day yesterday. The price was advancing higher. But this upswing stopped today, and this upswing stopped on the long midterm downtrend line, which connects lower lows since middle of April. In the long term, euro dollar bounced from the long term uptrend line and created a double bottom formation, and the second bottom was done with 2 hammers. So that was a very good buy signal, to be honest with you, here when this candle closed. So traders made this candle close on Thursday. On Friday we had an upswing. Monday, so this trading signal gave 120 pips, which was a good occasion. The price didn't stop in a random place because as you can see, that's a midterm downtrend line, but that's also 38 point of Fibonacci, which is always important, and it's not different this time, because look at this. Fibonacci was important in August, then in October, and then in November, and then December, so that is a good resistance. And now we have bearish scenario. Bearish scenario is a descending triangle, and the sell signal will be triggered once the price will break the purple area. We have also a positive scenario, which is bounce from this uptrend line, and the positive scenario will be triggered once the price will break this resistance here. So it's a good occasion for patient traders. Price reaching X sell signal, price reaching checkpoint. Checkpoint is a buy signal. That's the situation on euro dollar. So the range is 200 pips. That's a typical swing trade opportunity, because I'm a swing trader. Silver is inside of a long-term symmetric triangle, and most recently we had a bounce from the lower line of this triangle. Before that we had a bounce from the upper line of this triangle. The bounce from the lower line was not very strong, just like this. So you can see that demand is a bit weak at the moment, and that we will have most probably, well, we do have another test of the symmetric line of the triangle, but those lines of the triangle are no longer relevant. Well, they are, but the most relevant is the horizontal resistance here and the horizontal support here. So in my opinion, as long as we stay above the yellow area, there is no sell signal. As long as we stay below purple area, there is no buy signal. If you believe that the sideways trend will continue, what you can do is you can buy now with a stop loss here, and you can continue selling here with a stop loss here. But in my opinion, we are coming to an end of this triangle, and we should see the movement soon. We should see a reaction. Traders should eventually decide which way they want to go. American dollar to Japanese yen is a third occasion. So those three were on the Trading Sniper video. American dollar to Japanese yen is bouncing from the long-term downtrend line. And they are bouncing from this downtrend line, creating a head and shoulder pattern, those yellow areas. And we also broke the mid-term uptrend line, this blue. So what happened is we broke horizontal support, neckline, and long-term uptrend line. Yesterday we tested that as a resistance here. So that test should be actually a very strong sell signal. But the thing is that today the price is advancing higher. Luckily, we do have the support. Why? Why luckily? Because it shows us the bottom of this movement. And the price breaking this area. The price breaking this area will be a strong sell signal. So as long as we are above, buyers still have hope. But breakout of this area will be a strong sell signal. So the price will aim for the sell signal. You need to wait 35 pips. I think it's doable. That if you want to sell, you will wait, or you want to you can sell here. But for the sell signal, you need to see a bearish price action. Australian dollar to American dollar. I love this setup in the long term. Downtrend flag, downtrend flag, downtrend. The thing is that last week ended with this pin bar. So the further drop is not necessarily going to happen. But I don't know, because I would really love to see the further upswing. I would really love to see the price getting there, so 130 pips higher, and then bounce from this area or from this area. And then I would go short. So price getting there and short. That would be absolutely amazing. Euro to Australian dollar. Yesterday I was saying that it's a good occasion to sell, but for the sell you need to see the breakout of those areas, because still the price can go higher, and the price did go higher. So the price is did not bounce from this resistance on 50% fib or this resistance created by those lows, but the price went higher, tested 61.8, and actually they also went to test this long-term uptrend. Anyway, on a daily chart we are having a promising shooting star here, but the sentiment stays the same. So as long as we are above the lower orange line, you cannot say about the sell signal. Breakout of the orange line will be invitation to go short, but the real sell signal would be triggered, in my opinion, once the price would break the yellow area. And British pound to Swiss franc. What we have here is a downtrend. There is a descending triangle pattern. There is a horizontal support. The price is trying to bounce from this long-term uptrend line, but they are struggling. And actually, I think it would be fair to draw this like that. To be honest with you, so the price is having this descending triangle pattern, and as long as we stay below the red line, the sentiment is negative. then we should see the breakout of the green line, and the breakout of the green line should drive the price here. So after the breakout you would have like 130 pips drop, 130 pips movement, which is quite good, interesting from the risk to reward ratio. Okay, that's my instruments. As you can see now, let's go further and let's try to look for decent trading occasions elsewhere. That's the best thing that I like to do, is to do the analysis again and again and again, because you have a fresh approach. You see things more clearly after some time. You do not have this bias. Potentially head and shoulder pattern. Here, that's a weekly chart. On a daily chart, well, it stays the same. But what we have now, I would say that this would be better on H4. Is this line here reliable? I think like this. Okay, different color, let's say black. So this is the flag, downswing flag, downswing. But unfortunately we do have this horizontal support and the price is still above the support, so there is no sell signal, but potentially it looks interesting. On H1 chart also there is like a smaller formation. I would love this setup, but as you can see the price is not respecting this line. It would be maybe more something like that. Let's say blue. That would be the wedge. So we should get a sell signal here, but the price is in a sideways trend. Breakout of that line will be a super strong sell signal, but for that to happen we'll have to wait a little bit more. So thank you. What is happening on Swiss franc to Japanese yen? Double top formation, horizontal resistance. No, I don't see anything interesting. Euro to Canadian dollar. Correction. Also nothing. Euro to Swiss franc. Also not very interesting. Euro to British pound. I hope that we will have something. But oh my god, you see, there's a nice trend, but then there's a sideways trend, downswing, sideways trend again. That's absolutely the worst place that you can imagine. Obviously you can go short here and buy somewhere there. Let's say like that. But this is not the best setup I have ever seen in my life, unfortunately. Do I want to keep it? Not necessarily. I want to limit the amount of instruments. Euro to Japanese yen. Also nothing. Or maybe this resistance here. We had an attempt to create inverse head and shoulder formation. So left shoulder, head and right shoulder. But no. British pound to Australian dollar is trying to create a head and shoulder pattern, which is kind of interesting, especially that it's happening close to the long-term uptrend line, and it's happening here. Okay, fair enough, I'm interested. Yes, that's a nice resistance here. Very nice. So far so good. There is this support of this correction. Here, let's say. And there is this neckline of this head and shoulder pattern. So left shoulder, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Okay. Let's say, for example, green. All right. So the thing is that price getting there is a very nice sell signal on British pound to Australian dollar, and I'm keeping this instrument here. Just let me check the Fibos. 50. Nice. 50 bounce from the 50 breakout of the 38.2 will give us a so strong sell signal. So this is a good setup. Finally I'm enjoying this, what I see here. Next one. So you see, you don't have to force yourself to look for decent trading occasions, they just happen. British pound to Canadian dollar, kind of similar situation. This shooting star from Friday is very powerful. Bounce from 50. Also, we are waiting for the breakout of the 38.2. Yes, I already can see that this will be an interesting setup. 38.2 is a support. Nice. Also price getting there, sell signal. This is a flag. Well, let's say even like that. Yes. And from this, potential target is on this red line. Yes, looks interesting. British pound to Japanese yen. We had a story with that. I was looking for this instrument for a long time. Are we back in the negative sentiment here? Well, kind of, but I think those look better. British pound to American dollar. For a long time I didn't look at this instrument. Last week created a shooting star. There is a possibility of a bullish reversal. That's kind of a double bottom formation here, but we need to see the breakout of the red line to claim the buy signal. It's all happening on 50% Fibo. Yes. Do I want to keep it? Not really. New Zealand dollar to Japanese yen. That's kind of a rising pressure on a horizontal support. They try to defend it, but most probably they will fail and the price will go lower, but it's not my kind of setup. American dollar, New Zealand dollar to American dollar. That can be potentially a very strong sell signal. Uptrend line. and the neckline. Unfortunately, neckline here in this pattern is declined. I prefer when the neckline is inclined. It's much easier then. But well, you cannot have everything. And what's that? That's a head and shoulder formation. Left shoulder, head and right shoulder. So breakout of the combination of those two lines will be a buy signal, will be a sell signal. We do have a horizontal support. Last week was a shooting star bouncing from this horizontal support. So potentially we can have a bullish correction, but the long-term sentiment is rather negative. Yes, it's a long term, so I'm gonna remove it. American dollar to Canadian dollar. They broke this line, which gives us a buy signal in theory, but we can have correction equality pattern. Actually, we are having one right now. Let's see what are the odds here. 130 pips, 1030 pips, 1300 pips. Yes. So this may end this upswing, this correction equality pattern, especially after this candle from Friday. But it's too early to say this. We have this resistance here. Come back below this blue line, this black line would mean a false breakout, right? And actually, yeah, that can be a decent occasion to sell. But I think that the proper sell signal will be triggered once we'll break this. Let's create a red area, red line. Yes, the breakout of the red line would give us a sell signal. Next instrument, American dollar to Swiss franc. Horizontal resistance. I used to check this instrument, check out this instrument, but no longer. That was pretty nice trading opportunity. So we had an upswing correction as a wedge, and then the wedge, end of the wedge was an inverse head and shoulder pattern. And now we are above the neckline still, so we are testing the broken neckline. Left shoulder, head and right shoulder, we are testing the broken neckline as a support. Well, that is a interesting occasion on the market, so I will keep it. Like that. But the proper buy signal will be triggered once the price will break this area, which I will mark as, let's say, blue color. But that can be ascending triangle pattern, right? Upswing, here correction, upswing, correction, upswing, correction, upswing. We'll see. Whoa, not this template. Australian dollar to Swiss franc. Oh, I hate those kind of movements, but it may clarify here or like that. As the price is approaching important long-term support. There is another one like here. Head and shoulder pattern. But no. American dollar, Australian dollar to New Zealand dollar. that is a super important support, that is a super important resistance. We had a false breakout. Also the false breakout was top of the head in head and shoulder pattern, like here, left shoulder, head and right shoulder. Maybe no reason to draw that. What I wanted to see is the neckline here. Let me put that back. Neckline has to be in a different color. Okay. We don't have a signal now, but the setup does not look bad. I will patiently wait for the breakout of either support or resistance. So let me keep this instrument here. Canadian dollar to Swiss franc. All those patterns are very similar, but here no trading signal. Well, here as well, here is the same, but huge head and shoulder pattern is emerging. Left shoulder, head and right shoulder. We know that this currency respects it. Left shoulder, head and right shoulder. Left shoulder, head and right shoulder. So this Canadian dollar to Japanese yen likes it. Interestingly. That is support. Maybe we can draw like that. This will be even better. But again, that is a super long-term situation, so we can wait a few months for the price to break this support. Euro to New Zealand dollar. That would be the false breakout then. That would be the false breakout along with the double bottom formation. So if that's a false breakout, we should get a strong buy signal. Aiming this, but I'm not buying this setup. New Zealand dollar to Canadian dollar. Also the sideways trend, pretty boring unfortunately. Here also, look, how can you trade in this environment? Like, you're just losing money inside of this. That's absolutely not the place to be here. And as I'm a trader, I can do whatever I want. That's the freedom that Forex market gives you. So if you don't like any one particular setup, you just can remove this chart from your desktop and forget about this instrument. Okay, that is a legitimate resistance. That is the left shoulder, head and possibly right shoulder, but the comeback above the red line will be a buy signal. So that is a false breakout, and that is a buy signal on American dollar to Singaporean dollar. The thing is that for me to open a position, I need more factors. These are not, it's not enough for me. As you know, I need 4 checkpoints to open a position, and for me it's not enough to go long now. Okay, British pound to New Zealand dollar will be the last instrument I have for you. Let's see if we have anything interesting here. This horizontal support, yes, this horizontal support looks decent. Here. Yes, this is the correct line. This is another one. This is another one. So yeah, we have much better trading setups like here or here with British pound something than this. So I'm gonna remove this. So we analyzed almost half of, well, vast majority of the instruments. We have only a few currencies left and also a few indices. Let me check the gold. Oh, gold is aiming lower, silver also. So that's just the continuation of the sell signal that we got here. But I will do the proper analysis of gold tomorrow. So what we have is we are waiting for the breakout on euro dollar, either a sell signal or a buy signal. Probably sell signal on silver, but we have to wait for a sell signal on American dollar to Japanese yen. We need to see the breakout of the green line here. I would love to see an upswing, but only to sell with better price. Euro to Australian dollar, breakout of this level gives us a first signal, a sell signal. Second one will be triggered here. British pound to Swiss franc, we are waiting for the breakout of the green line. Here we are waiting for the price to get to the stop sign for a major sell signal. And British pound to Canadian dollar also, price getting their sell signal. American dollar to Canadian dollar, price breaking the red area sell signal. Australian dollar to Canadian dollar, I would prefer the breakout to the upside. And Australian dollar to New Zealand dollar, long-term symmetric triangle, just waiting for the breakout. So thanks very much guys for attending the daily analytical report. I hope you enjoyed that. And now we'll have a short break, and after that a webinar about the we will have a webinar about the basics of the forex market. So I hope you will all attend this, and thanks very much and see you soon.